Hey, what's going on guys? My name is KarQ and today we finally got the one Hammond tip video, which means the only one left is the new Torbjorn tips to finish off the series. Anyways, today I'm joined by EvilToaster again, so let's get into the general tip.
Hello, I'm EvilToaster and I have been playing Hamster daily since PTR release and have been maintaining a top 500 SR with him in Season 12 so far. The best tip to apply to your Hammond gameplay that will yield the most results is learning how to pile drive without using grapple. Other than just jumping off high ground, you can use any ledge, even if they're near the ground, to gain enough height to pile drive. This is because the game detects your ability to pile drive based on the height from the floor you're currently under, not how high you jumped to get there. You can also jump off corners and walls to gain enough height to pile drive almost anywhere on the map, but they are tricky. Against corners and slanted walls, you can roll at full natural rolling speed to gain height, but against flat walls, you must approach it a little slower to gain vertical momentum.
And with that out of the way, let's get started.
D.Va's armor and defense matrix make it tough for him to demech and kill her unless she's being focused by your entire team. You'll lose at close range due to her damage burst, but it drops off considerably at mid-range where your weapon spread isn't as bad comparatively speaking. During poke battles, the best thing you can do is annoy her into matrixing your bullets, which will help your team later in the fight. Against Orisa, it is important to remember that shields block line of sight for him to gain any extra shield health from nearby enemies. If you are going to engage on Orisa and her team, be sure to wait until you pass through her barrier before you activate your shield. Ryan is an easy target to knock back with your fireball, so find spots to repeatedly swing into the same area to keep Ryan's frustrated. Be careful of being too predictable however, or you may roll into a charge. Although Roadhog can hook you easily, you could take some time to poke him back if you have your shield or grapple available to minimize any hard punishment. Give more respect to Hog if he is near his team, as other teammates can chain CC onto you and you may not be able to shield yourself. If Winston dives with a D.Va, it will have almost no effectiveness trying to shoot them away. Instead, set up counter dive fireballs or pile drivers to disrupt their dive. Keep in mind, Winston's bubble will block pile driver, so try to land a direct hit on him, and your team can escape the range of his cannon. If an enemy Winston does not have a D.Va with him, you could pretty much just bully him. The most important aspect of the Hamster mirror matchup is clearing minefields. Both Fireball and Pile Driver can clear mines easily and give you room to lay mines of your own. Keep in mind you must be rolling at full speed to destroy mines without damaging yourself. You shouldn't worry about much else because Hammond's damage is too low to kill another Hammond, and using your mobility to chase after them is usually less valuable than helping your team. In Zarya's eyes, Hammond looks like a big ultimate battery, but it's important to remember that she can't gain ult charge off of your shield health. Try to body block and soak up Zarya's beam when you know you have a big shield. Bastions will usually sit around their secret service for protection, so try to land a pile drive on him to remove a big chunk of his initial armor, then gain a large shield and face tank him, even if for 1 or 2 seconds, to buy time for your team to move into range and focus him. If you ever plan to engage anywhere near a Doomfist, try to save your pile driver and hold the button down while being comboed. This way, when you get uppercutted, you will immediately cast Pile Driver and escape the momentum lock, and knock Doomfist higher into the air so he can't align his rocket punch on you until he reaches ground level again. When playing against a Genji's Dragon Blade, coordinate a play with your supports to group together and cast Minefield around them when the enemy team executes the play. Use a Pile Driver or knockback to keep Genji at bay if the mines still need time to arm, then let your team sit peacefully in the minefield for safety. The Hanzo matchup is dependent on his Storm Arrow ability. If you don't have your adaptive shield, Hanzo can land a shot or two as you initiate with Pile Driver, then shred you with Storm Arrows, since it's hard to miss your big body. If Hanzo recently used his Storm Arrows, he is very easy to assassinate with Pile Driver even if he has none. Honestly, Junkrat's best tool against you is the Steel Trap. You'll be spending a lot of time covering a lot of surface area as Hammond, so be aware of rolling into one. Additionally, you can try to bait and tank the Riptire for your team with your adaptive shield, since it does a maximum of 600 damage. Remember that McCree can flashbang you during your pile driver animation and cancel it completely, making you lose out on 100 damage for your combo. Just be prepared to punish him if he blows his flash on anything else, since he is nearly defenseless against pile driver without it. Additionally, you can situationally hide behind your proximity mines to block McCree's Deadeye. Mei is one of your most difficult matchups because it is very easy for her to slow your momentum or close off your escape route entirely, while also being nearly impossible to kill on your own because of Cryo Freeze. There is no trick to fighting a Mei solo, and you will need the help of your team to bait out her cooldowns and disengage safely. When Mei is freezing you and you know you can't get out, quickly turn into ball form to hide your little hamster body so you won't take headshot damage from her icicle. Against Pharah, you don't necessarily have strong kill pressure, but you can annoy her if she's not being pocketed by a healer thanks to your hitscan weapon. If you're feeling brave, you can swing into the air to get close range shots, but don't overextend for the flashy play. Usually just poking her will be enough to scare her off. Against Reaper, be aware that the spread of his shotguns do not penalize his damage as much against you because of Hammond's large round hitbox. Even at mid-range, you can take heavy damage from Reaper. The best thing to focus on is forcing Wraithform with pile drivers when he's focused on someone else, and quickly roll away if he turns on you or is getting any healing from teammates. If you engage on the soldier and he uses Biotic Field, he'll likely do enough damage to kill you before you can make a dent in him because of his healing. Play from mid-range near cover or from a flank angle and poke his health until you can bait his healing field. If he won't budge or has a pocket, make a non-committed or soft engagement with a plan to escape, and soldier will likely place his healing field out of fear. Once it's down, re-engage with your fast cooldowns and pile driver for the kill. Baiting out cooldowns beforehand is such a big part of engaging properly as Hammond, and I'm going to refer to this as hamboozling for the rest of the video. Sombra is one of the hardest counters to you because of her hack, but there are ways to play around it. Use the long-range hit scan capabilities of your weapon to focus Sombra and prevent her from hacking you or your team. If you are out of position, start moving away while tapping Sombra with your primary fire instead of full auto, to be sure you won't use all of your ammo, or Sombra will have enough time to hack you while you're reloading. If you see hack get cancelled, roll out of line of sight and start poking her again from cover to protect your team. If you ever see her translocate her, use mobility to reach it and call it out to your team so they know to focus her after you destroy it. While Hammond has these tools to control Sombra, it will require so much attention and focus that you may not be able to fulfill your duties as a tank to your team. If you're the only tank on your team or your other tank player won't play a barrier tank, you may find more value swapping to another hero. Symmetra is a dangerous hero to play against, because her slowing turrets can completely kill your fiery momentum if you roll near them, and a quick teleporter can keep her safe from pile drive engagements. The only way to destroy her turrets in ball form is to roll directly into them while on fire. Play slow and patient, using mobility to kill turrets from flank angles, and wait for Sim to use her teleporter. If Sim is preoccupied with your team, she will be much easier to engage, so patient play will play off against her. Torb's Overdrive is a complete counter to your engagement because the armor will nullify your primary fire, and his shotgun will evaporate you with the attack speed steroid. You must hamboozle Overdrive out of him by poking at him from mid-range or from flank angles. Prioritize killing turrets as well during this poke phase, since you have the mobility to access health kits while doing so. You will rarely have opportunities to kill Tracer, but your hit scan weapon is useful for poking her and forcing her to use abilities when she otherwise wouldn't need to. If you see Tracer pressuring your teammates, you can roll into her or cast Pile Driver over your teammate to zone Tracer off of them, but this will usually only force a recall, but that's good enough for us. It will always be tempting to throw all your cooldowns at Widow for the kill, but her grapple can take her to safety and put you out of position in her sightline. Try to only use Pile Driver without your grapple so you have it ready to chase her after she uses her grapple to smash her. If Widow's position is too defensive, try to hamboozle her with poke damage so she retreats and uses grapple to get back to her position, then kill her. Both of Anna's abilities are rough to deal with, but with proper hamboozling you can find an opening for yourself to assassinate Anna. If you're fighting Anna near a ledge, you can reactively use the instant Pile Driver to dodge the sleep dart. Use your superior mobility to shoot Brigitte from a flank angle so she will be forced to take damage or turn her shield towards you, giving the rest of your team an opening. Don't worry too much about her stun if she isn't near her team, but be aware when she is grouped with her team, since her stun will likely lead to follow-up abilities and you may not escape. If you are ever playing in an area where you are at risk of being booped off the map, hold the Pile Driver button at all times and you will quickly recover back on the ground the moment you get knocked off. Since Pile Driver always gives you a little forward nudge in the direction you're facing, be sure you are facing away from the ledge of the map or else you'll Pile Drive right off. Hamster is one of the best heroes in the game for cancelling Resurrect, but you must have the presence of mind to predict where and when she will use it, or you will be too late to cancel it. Get in position to swing them away with a fireball, or if you're close enough, just shoot her while rezzing for the kill. Also note that Pile Driver cannot interrupt res, you simply don't knock her up high enough to get her out of range, so stick with Fireball Boop or straight up killing her. Moira is very resistant to your Pile Driver combo with Fade or self-healing orbs and Drain, so use the Hamboozle to bait out her Fade or Biotic orbs before going for the kill combo. If she walks with a healing orb and drains you, it is better to just switch targets to someone who will not be near her orb. Zenyatta's immobility and large hitbox make him one of the easiest targets to assassinate with the Pile Driver combo. but this will often be met with a Transcendence to save himself. Exploit this and use your combo or even your minefield to force Zen to use Trance before your team uses more important ultimates. Your minefield will usually charge faster, and sometimes even sacrificing your life for Zen's Trance will be a good enough trade if your team has a strong ultimate combo to follow up with.
And that's all the heroes. I'll be doing a 1 Hammond counter with another Hammond player and maybe a 1 Symmetra counter to fill in the gaps for the old videos in the series that never managed to have a Hammond tip, for example, since he's such a new hero. And yeah, alright, see you guys next time.
Thanks again, YouTube Overlord KarQ, for having me. You can find me rolling off the map at twitch.tv/EvilToaster.